All right, family. We live once again with the general. You already know what time it is, man. We got some fire today. We're gonna be dealing with a most dire situation going on in Africa. The outbreak, the Ebola outbreak, is escalating throughout the continent. You know, and they saying that the outbreak is getting ahead the World Health Organization and this shit is old, man. I mean, why is it that, after all these pandemics and outbreaks that they don't have a blueprint already in place? I mean, Ebola has already devastated Africa. This is not the first time there's been an Ebola outbreak. What the fuck did you learn from the first time? You know what I'm saying? It's just ridiculous, that we continuing the damn so-called powers to be, the professionals is dumb as hell. That's all I can say. And not just dumb, they want the outbreak. They want the goddamn outbreak. They're just like, the motherfucking Hana, what was the Hana virus, whatever it is, out there and the fucking ship, and they out there. Everybody got the goddamn virus. Motherfuckers dying on the ship, and it's supposed to be after damn COVID. It's supposed to be like 911. You know what I'm saying? They should be ringing the bell. Ding 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 ding. You know what I'm saying? If nothing else, it's no such thing as being, people say you could be, you know too excited about a situation. You see what I'm saying? It ain't no such thing as that no damn more. It's no such thing as that anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's better to be safe than sorry. You know what I'm saying? You got to damn near treat every virus now, or just the assumption of the virus 911. Because I mean, at the least, once you get in there and see, okay, it's not what it is. But just the mere mention, you got to jump right on it. You know what I'm saying? That should be the agenda. Jump right on it. Okay, it's a virus out here on this shit. Let's fly some of the best peoples in right now. Let's see what's going on. Let the people see that we on top of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Nobody talking about it. 4, 5, 6, 7 days later, motherfuckers already done touched down on the mainland, United States, not just United States, but Africa. And see, sometimes, you have to understand what they saying it is could be something totally different. You don't know what these beasts talking about. You know what I'm saying? They don't, you got to understand, they're trying to erase the chalkboard today. They had that damn monument down there in Georgia where said they trying to get the planet down to 500,000 people in weather. People believe it was the government or whoever, some Illuminati group, or you know what I'm saying, secret order or whatever. This is not the first time we've heard of the elite powers to be having an agenda, because I heard it directly out of the beast's mouth anyway. That one Neanderthal that's the head of the World Economic Forum or whatever, and his henchman, what was his name, Noah Harari or whatever his name was. Well, they saying that, man, people's is just useless. They just in the way. You got billions of people that just in the way and need to get rid of them. That's exactly what they saying, that you got too many peoples on the planet and you need to get rid of them. And you got 8 billion people on the planet and they're trying to get down. At least this is what's been projected. And this come out of his goddamn mouth. It come out of his mouth. You see, they trying to get motherfuckers to eat bugs. They don't want you to even eat food. They trying to get rid of the cows on the planet, saying too much cows on the planet. They putting carbon into the fucking air and shit like that. You see what I'm saying? So they trying to eradicate, but at the same time, they cutting down the trees. killing the forest, which is the lungs of the planet Earth that give us fresh air. And not only is they cutting down all the damn trees, you see, that give us fresh air that keep us healthy. You see, the more fresh air you got on the planet, the healthier you are. You see what I'm saying? You ain't got all that poison and shit, and then the body can breathe. And you see what I'm saying? But not only is they cutting down the trees, they putting all that goddamn poison. They got a goddamn plant out there in California right now about to blow the fuck up. A poisonous substance is out there, and shit fizzing all out the damn container, and it's right next to another container. And if the motherfucker blow up, you see what I'm saying? It's gonna blow the other goddamn, and this is dangerous chemicals and shit that they're gonna put in the air. You see what I'm saying? So this is even when we talk about the roast, and how they scrub the ground with people, and this is the same energy and frequency where you would put chemicals that are deadly to humanity, and you still creating a world that evolves around deadly chemicals and shit, bombs and all of this, and they put the shit in everything, in the paint and whatever it is. They put it in the cars and whatever you put your hands on, some of that shit end up in it. They put it all in the plastics and shit and all of that, and so even with this that's going on in Africa with the Ebola and shit. Now I heard it and crept over to India. You see what I'm saying? And so you talking about, large countries and continents of melanated people. You see what I'm saying? In which they are non-melanated. And I'm not in any way signifying that, that there's somehow some unity between India and Africa. That's not, but at the same time, that ain't got nothing to do with what their agenda is. They see all the other peoples of the world non-Caucasian, non-European. You see, non-Caucasian, non-white. And so that's their agenda, is to knock down that number, get that out of the way. You understand what I'm saying? So, you don't hear and Europeans are some of the nastiest motherfuckers on the planet. It's true. It's true. It's true. And so, where's these diseases coming from? You know what I'm saying? Where's these diseases coming, man? They are creating these diseases, and they are creating these diseases and injecting it into the society. You understand? They putting it in whatever, this, when you got a mad scientist with an agenda, you see, this ain't just a motherfucker down with a little couple of test tubes and no, this is a mad scientist with an agenda. We already seen, they already admitted that they was creating a damn COVID vaccine. Whatever it is, I don't know if it's a agent, you know what I'm saying? We don't know what the fuck it is, you know what I'm saying? But whatever, it created a lot of death, and it could have created, and it fucked the economy up and shit and every goddamn thing else. And the next one, we ain't even recovered from that one. Dude, we can't take no another, and just think of how many, honestly, I haven't even sat back and registered how many people actually died from that. You know what I'm saying? It was happening so rapidly, and I remember so many people telling me, who passed during that time. You know what I'm saying? While it was happening. But it was such an immense pressure on everybody. You couldn't even fucking really take the time to, really register how many, who actually passed. You know what I'm saying? You didn't even really get a time to mourn because the shit was still on us. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, you put one, you bury one of your loved ones, but nigga, the shit's still on you. It's another nigga gonna die tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So you watching death just happening rapidly, and you can't even really register. That's why people was quick. It was like 2 days, and 3 days, just burn them, just cremate them and shit, you know, just cremate them. And so we lost so many people, and we don't even, most people ain't even sat down and registered how many people actually died, you see, during that time. But it was a lot of people that left here, man. Real talk. It was a lot of people that left here. And just imagine if some shit hit our ass again. You know what I'm saying? Just keep, motherfuckers keep getting hit with all these diseases. And, back in the day, a lot, diseases come from nastiness. But now they've been cultivated. A lot of these diseases have been cultivated in militarized and shit, weaponized. You know what I'm saying? Where they didn't connected that shit with other really contagious type of, synthetic creations, nigga, where they can latch on and make that shit even, 1,000 times more, deadly, and more contagious and shit. You feel what I'm saying? And so, but this is the calling. This is the calling of our people. You know what I'm saying? This is why we are in the predicament we in today. And that's why divinity are always, and no matter what, it's about divinity, because within divinity, we would understand that we are the caretakers of this planet. And it ain't until we figure that shit out. This is not, these people should not be in nowhere, no way in control of shit, because they are destroying this damn planet. They destroying their goddamn self, and they taking us with them. You see what I'm saying? And we have to come to understand that we have to resume, the responsibility of being in purge ourselves, because we are infected. You understand, with a lot of the mentality of this beast. You see what I'm saying? And we have to purge ourselves. However we have to do that, it must be done. And we have to turn this motherfucking ship around. It ain't no keep going. And that's what's wrong with niggas. They want to keep going. You want to run, and that's good. And people want to, you can run, but until this beast is up, you can run to nowhere. You understand what I'm saying? Because here it is, motherfucking, and put in Ebola out there. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, you run? Okay, nigga, here. Let me give you something. So it don't make no difference. You got to get the bees out of the position of being able to dictate the planet like this, man. You understand? That's what it's gonna boil down to. And where do it start? It start right again with Black power. It start right there with, start with your own. You cannot do nothing until you start with your own goddamn community. And everybody should do that simultaneously. You see what I'm saying? So ain't no, hey, we ain't up and down all over, and start there and begin to work first and foremost on the economy, and not just the economy, but you got to have the economy. You got to move them out of there. Then you got to have your own health initiative. And we seen that with, Malcolm X and his organization of Afro-American unity, in which we was looking at the Constitution and bylaws of it. And he talks about that, man. That's in your education, creating your own literature and books for your people, man. You got to turn the corner. You start there. And if everybody is on, then we can step up on our health and shit, and what we gonna allow to come into our community. You know what I'm saying? And make preparations for any type of outbreak like that. You know what I'm saying? We got to have some initiatives outside of them. Period. We got to be able to control our own situation if need be. You see what I'm saying? Have all the, because shit, and have all the necessary things that we would need in a situation like that, so we could hurry up and get the shit to the people and turn this shit around. You see, and have a course of guidelines in which our people can follow in order to, stay safe and keep our community safe amidst, a catastrophic, pandemic or anything of that nature. You see what I'm saying? It always go back to Black power. I don't give a fuck about nothing else. Nothing else. Because once you get down into Black power controlling the economy, the education, the defense, everything, you start right there in your own community. and you secure your community. You secure your education by present. We got all the literature we need. We got all the books we need. You see what I'm saying? You can start breaking them down chapters out of each of the books and shit. We got all we need, man. Straight up. We got all we need. And if some of them we could break them down to elementary level. We got all the literature. We got all the topics that we need for history and science, and we got all that. You feel me? And so we need to get on it immediately. Just like I said, Dr. John Henry Clark say, if it take 100 years to do it, if you get started today, you only got 99 more years to go. You feel me? And if it only take 20 years to do it, if you get started right now, you only got 19 more years to go. If it only take 2 years to get it done, if you start right now, you only got you only got 1 and 10 or 11 months to go. And that shit'll go by quick. And if you take care of business, it'll be finished by the second year, and then you can move on to something else. And then we could put just particular groups on each segment of a sector of our community that we need: health, education. We can just put segments. We can put groups, and the most proficient groups on each subject to handle that. And if it take 2 years, and goddamn it, in a 1 year and 11 fucking months, we'll be operating, man. We'll be fucking operating, man. We got to quit this shit. But anyway, family, I'll see y'all in a minute. To Africa out there, I believe Africa been through this time and time again, and I believe they know how to shut that shit down to keep the people from spreading. And I think they have mastered it more and better than most peoples on the planet. They didn't dealt with it. They know how to shut the communities down to keep it from spreading and shit. And so we wish them all the well in getting out of this situation, with the least amount of deaths as possible. I'll see y'all in a minute, man. Y'all click that link, top of the chat, Patreon, get over there, support the general, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done that. Get a video a thumbs up, like it because you love it. Comment down there. We need our people not just to come to these videos, get my message. It should be a lot of important comments down there that the people can read. You know what I'm saying? Where you provide information. You see what I'm saying? Or how you feel about the situation. And let it be positive. And positive now don't mean that, it's not something negative, because it could be negative positive. You feel what I'm saying? But tell us how you feel, and I'll see y'all in a minute. Black Power.